Hello everyone and welcome to Data with Dan. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things that I'm doing to improve as an entry-level data analyst. How's it going everyone? Thank you so much for clicking on the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Dan and I'm an entry-level data analyst. So as an entry data analyst, I want to be able to make the next role, which would be a junior data analyst role. I wanted to make a list of a couple things that I felt that I needed to improve on in order to best set myself up to be able to attain that role. Now, my primary focus is going to be on completing my improvement goals set to me by my company. So at the beginning of the year, I sat down with my group leader for about an hour discussion about what I needed to do to be able to make junior data analyst by the end of this year. And this is the list that we came up with. So first and foremost, I need to be able to build and be able to review other builds at any project level. I also am going to be exposed to a little bit of leadership and management training. And finally, organizing internal methods. The way that it was broken down to me was that 70% of my time should be focused on building projects and reviewing projects. A part of that is taking on more difficult level projects, things that are a little bit challenging, but nothing too crazy. But by the end of the year, I should be able to do any type of project. So that's where I'm going to be spending the majority of my time while I'm at work. So one of the things that I discussed with my group leader when I got hired was eventually making it into a management role. I do have a background in management. I was a food service manager for about 6 years. I'm not going to spend too much time. They told me about 15% of my time is going to go towards this. And I'll touch on this subject a little bit later on in the video. And then the last little bit that I'm going to be working on at work is organizing internal methods. We use OneNote for all of our internal notes when it comes to clients, when it comes to departments. There's so many different types of projects that when we have repetitive ones or brand new ones, we'd like to take notes. That way, whoever works on the next one is just that much more prepared to take it on. So one of the things that we're going to do this year is me and a small group, we're going to go through our internal method notes and organize, clean it up, and just give it a good evaluation. The next thing that I'm going to do to help improve myself is to meet with my mentors. So for my group, I have 3 main mentors. I have my technical advisor, group leader, and then the director of my department. So for each of these, I'm meeting with them at least once a month for about an hour. My technical advisor, we typically talk about the next level projects that I'm working on, trainings on new types of projects that I haven't done yet. We usually stick to pretty technical talk. It's mostly about the type of work that we're doing. When it comes to meeting with my group leader, we talk mostly about the projects that I'm working on and how I'm feeling about them, things that I feel like I could improve on, or things that I'm doing really well at, as well as going over a little bit of future management skills. So some of the things that we've talked about, planning schedules, how the projects are assigned, assessing work capacity, and other things. So I'm excited to keep learning that. With the director of my department, we have more broad-based leadership and overall management talk. So it's mostly about what questions are being asked at the higher level? How is the data coming in really being stored and being used? And what questions do we need to start looking at for the future? And how can we best prepare for that? So that's mostly just keeping me in the conversation of how the group overall is going, and then how eventually my role will be fitting into that as a manager. Now, based off of the feedback that I've gotten from my mentors, there's a couple of skills that I'm going to need to be working on in the future. 2 of the big ones that I was advised to learn more of is Excel and Power BI. Now for my current role, I don't use Excel or Power BI. I mostly work with what's called LIMS, which stands for Laboratory Information and Management System. So that's basically how we store our data and how we clean and organize our data. So that's the role that I typically work on. So for the next level, I'm obviously going to be doing a little bit more of the analysis, and that only gets more and more as I go up. And so those are the things that I'm going to be primarily working on outside of work. Along with those skills are going to be some other things that a data analyst should focus on. When you first want to become a data analyst, you look up what skills do you need. And typically the ones that you're going to see are Excel, SQL, Python, Power BI, Tableau. For some people, that translates directly into their job, and for others like me, it doesn't. Like I said earlier in the video, we use a LIMS system for the job that I currently do. You never know what's going to happen in the data world and how it's going to adjust. Now, through the Google Data Analytics course that I took, I've gotten a little bit of exposure to Excel to Tableau, to Power BI, to SQL. So I have a little bit of knowledge in it, but obviously not enough to be able to be at a junior level or eventually a senior data role. And then obviously the last thing that I'm going to be doing is a YouTube channel. So with my YouTube channel, I'm hoping to get a little bit better with speaking, getting a little bit better with organizing and putting together videos for hopefully eventually presentations and hopefully training videos as well. YouTube is a great way to work on my creative skills and my technical skills when it comes to video editing, presentations, and other things. So yeah, those are the 5 things I'm going to work on. Obviously, my priority has to be my job and what they want from me first and foremost. I also think that it's very important to meet with mentors. So that's what I have listed as my next priority. And then obviously, as a data analyst, it comes down to what skills do you have. So I want to make sure I have a broad range of skill sets. That way, if my job ever changes or if I ever need to change jobs, I'm already prepared into what it's going to take. All right, guys, those are my 5 things that I'm going to do to improve as an entry-level data analyst. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. Thank you, guys.